Howdy and welcome to What's Going On with Pumpkin Fun. My name is Susan Webb and I'm the program coordinator here at the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service here on campus. And I'm here with my student assistant, Brooke. She's here to join us and we are going to talk pumpkins and pumpkin carving. So pumpkin carving is one of my family's favorite activities. Like, the adult children still get in on the action. They love to schedule it. It's just a time we have at our house, and it's just a great way to be creative, hang out, spend time together, but just beware, it can get competitive really fast.
So do you have any cool facts about our pumpkins here?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Brooke. I do have a few cool facts, but don't worry, folks, you don't have to take any notes. We'll put these in the comments section below so that you can look back at them, and we'll give you lots of resources. So let's talk a little bit about a few pumpkin facts. The pumpkin is a cucurbit, which is in the gourd family with the squash and the melons. Texas is the 4th leading state for commercial pumpkin production. Over 90% of the pumpkins are produced for seasonal ornamental use, which means exactly what we're doing here. 90% of pumpkins are grown for these kind of activities in the fall season. 35 to 5,000 acres are planted annually in Texas, with 90% of those acres being in the West Texas region. Like I said, don't worry, don't take notes. We will fill you in on all of this and give you all this great information later in the comments section.
That is so fun. So yeah, make sure to look in those comments and learn more about our pumpkins here. So when we begin to carve these things, the first thing we want to do is we want to cut a hole in the top so we have an entry point inside the pumpkin. And so you can use a variety of different tools depending on your skill set. Adults, I recommend a kitchen knife just because you're able to have a sharper blade. They're a little more powerful. But our kiddos here, these knives work perfectly fine and they are safe for your use. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut at a 45-degree angle into the pumpkin. And so when we take our top off and put it back on, the top doesn't fall inside the pumpkin. And so what I'm going to do is I'll take that top off and look inside, and I'm going to see all these guts and seeds, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all these.
Well, Brooke, I have a great idea what you can do with all of those seeds. So once you remove all of those, the seeds and guts or strings insides of the pumpkin, you'll kind of have a bucket or bowl of something that looks like this. Ew. So what we can do is I use a colander. So I dump it into a colander, and you can run cool water over it. Separate the seeds from the insides. Some of them will come away easily. Some of them will be a little bit harder to separate. Just kind of get in there and then you can kind of work them out of there. Pumpkins, depending on the size, can have up to 500 seeds. So you're going to have a pretty good number of seeds by the time you get everything separated. So once you do that, you will have a bowl of seeds and you will have now a bowl of insides. So what I suggest you do for the insides is run them out to your compost pile, dump those in. Get that ready to go for your gardens and everything later that you need your compost for. So when you have the seeds separated, we're going to take those out. We're going to put those in a pot of boiling salted water. So once those come to a boil, you'll remove those, put those on a baking sheet, and you will start seasoning them however you want. So there's different things you can do. You can do cinnamon sugar for a sweet option. You can do savory options, hot and spicy, different things like that. Just kind of look in your pantry and kind of see what you want to do and what you want to put on it, kind of what you see pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds flavored with in the stores. Just kind of pick some fun stuff. You can get creative with that as well. So once you decide what you want to do, so we do both different things. So once you do that, you put them in the oven at 400 degrees. But be very careful. Don't leave the kitchen. Because you've got about 5 to 20 minutes depending on how big your seeds are. So if they're smaller, obviously it's going to be closer to the 5-minute range, bigger ones 20, but just don't leave the kitchen to be safe, because once they're light brown, they are ready to go, and you take those out of there, let them cool, and then you have a snack.
Who knew such a fun family activity could give me a nice tasty snack? And so once we carve all of those, while your mom's in the kitchen making your pumpkin seeds, you can look at the inside of this pumpkin and see it's empty now. And then we get to choose what we get to carve. But this is where it gets competitive. I know if you're like me, you like to print these free templates online, because I am not artistic whatsoever. And so what I did is I poked a bunch of holes in my template through the paper, and I used a push pin just like that. And so I was able to follow my marks on the pumpkin and know where to carve. And then the last thing you are going to want to do is you're going to want to put a light inside your pumpkin. In this pumpkin right here, we have a battery strobe light, just like this. Or you can use some of those lights down there. Susan, which one's your favorite to
Well,
use?
my favorite to use, like I said, Brooke said you can find these at any discount store, anywhere you go these days you can find them. The strobe lights are fun because they have different settings. You can make it scary, you can make it happy, you can do whatever you want with the strobe lights. They're really, really fun. The kids enjoy those. The trick-or-treaters enjoy those. But you can just do glow sticks. Those are super simple. Those are completely safe. My personal favorite is the votive candle and an actual votive, just because it's a little safer and the wind doesn't get through everything. So they stay lit a little bit better. Tea lights are also fine. They just go out faster, and sometimes the wind can get in there and blow your candle out there, and you don't know that your pumpkin is out. So my favorite are the votives.
And the last thing you're going to do is put these on your porch throughout the Halloween season or until they start to decay.
Awesome. Thank you, Brooke. And as always, remember to join us on our website, aggie-horticulture.tamu.edu, for all the information from our fun presentation today. And thanks for joining us. We had a great time today. Remember to stay connected with us for what's growing on.